The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Earhart here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. First and foremost, thank you all so very much for taking time to join us this morning. I think what you're going to see today, you will find very, very valuable and very worth your time. We're going to go through one of my favorite sales tools that Iams offers to our producers in what we call the Sales Resource Library that's available to you at iamsinc.com. And in order to do that, from Financial Services Online, we have got Meredith Copeland here to walk us through. Meredith, can you hear me?
I can. Thank you for having me this morning.
Hey, thank you for joining us, Meredith. We always appreciate when you've got some time for us. Before I do hand it over to Meredith and get into the meat and potatoes of today's presentation, I'm going to go through a few introductory slides as well as a couple of housekeeping items. So let's jump into the housekeeping items first. Probably the most important thing that you will hear me say today is on the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's our phone number. That is 800-255-5055. If there is anything that we can be doing to help you in the life, annuity, or assets under management markets, please do not hesitate to give us a call. We'd absolutely love to be speaking with you. Second housekeeping item is polling questions. I'm going to launch 2 to 3 polling questions in the presentation today. If you would be so kind as to participate in those, we certainly do appreciate it. Simple yes or no questions, click of a button, really easy to do. Just really helps us get an idea of some of the programs we offer that you may be interested in. And then the final housekeeping item are questions. We're going to throw probably quite a bit of information at you here in a fairly short period of time. Meredith does a great job as far as questions go. So as you see something that you have a question on, or if you want more detail on something, just type it into the questions box, and we will take a look at that right away. Get into it as quickly as we can. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the introductory slides. And what I want to start with is Iams Business Builders. Just highlight a couple of our most popular programs. First one that we're going to talk about is the Referred Producer Program. Our business here on the wholesale side of the industry, very, very similar to yours in the field, in that one of the best leads we're ever going to get is a referral from one of our valued clients, or you, our valued producers. So we want to make it worth your while to refer other advisors over to us. When you refer someone to us and they pick up any license through Iams, we're going to send you a $50 thank you check just simply for them licensing. Where the real money comes in is as your referral writes business, we're going to give you a 20 basis point override on that business. We cut these checks at least quarterly. Many of these checks total into thousands and thousands of dollars, so it can be very, very lucrative for you. If you'd like to learn more about the program, or if you can think of someone that could benefit from doing business with us here at Iams, please let me know. You can email me, scott@iamsinc.com. You can call me at 800-255-5055, or you can type any information you have into the questions box on your referral. We'll do the best we can to get them recruited over here to Iams and get you on your way to earning some referred producer dollars. Now, our most popular business builder is our marketing reimbursement program directly below that. Rough numbers on this: for every $100,000 you place in premium through Iams, we're going to put $100 into your marketing reimbursement account. What makes this so popular and so lucrative for you is that we truly do consider that your money here at Iams. So we don't tell you what you have to write to qualify for that. We don't tell you how that you have to cash out that account every so often, or we're going to cap that account at anything. This is really your money. We don't even tell you what vendors you have to use. All we ask is that if you have a marketing expense, you send us a receipt for that expense. We'll get a check cut to you, hopefully same day, and back out to you to help you offset that expense. If you'd like more details on the program, or if you'd like to know how much you have available in your marketing reimbursement account, just let me know. We can certainly get that information for you. Moving on to new producer builders. This is going to be geared towards individuals that are new to us here at Iams, or if this is your first introduction to who we are, this is going to apply to you. This is based on your production within the first 180 days of picking up any license through Iams, and there are 3 levels you can qualify at, and as you can see in each level, there's some great options for you: cash rewards, business building tools, personal perks, all available to you. If you'd like to know where you stand towards the new producer builder, or if you want to have a conversation about what we can be doing to help you step up to that next level, please let us know. Certainly want to have that conversation with you. Back office support. This slide is all about who we are here at Iams, and that sub-headline there, we help you work smarter, not harder. That is the core of who we are and what we do for our advisors, and really why Charles Hiring founded us 33 years ago now. So we're going to help you with business building tools and resources. You're going to see some of these great resources here today. We're going to be here for you for case design assistance and life and annuity quotes, and that's kind of my baby around here. You know, we've got a lot of experience on the marketing staff. We've been doing this a long time. I don't want to sound too egotistical here, but we're pretty good at what we do, and we're very advisor-centric. What I mean by that is I hear horror stories from advisors that move over to us about they were with a previous IMO or FMO, however you want to refer to us. They'd have to call in, leave a voicemail. 3 days later, they might get a call back or an email with an illustration. That's not how we work around here. We know that helping you design cases and putting illustrations in your hand is definitely the first or one of the first steps in the sales process. So when you call in, you're going to talk to a live person, and that live person is either going to be able to assist you or transfer you directly to the individual that can assist you. And when we do get that case design together and it is time to get those illustrations out to you, you're going to get those same day you request them. That's our guarantee to you. So we're here to help you in any way we can on that aspect. Forms at your fingertips here at Iams. 2 ways to get forms at your fingertips. One, you can dial that phone number 800-255-5055, and we will get you emailed or drop shipped directly, whatever type of supply you need. Also, you can go to iamsinc.com. You're going to see some of that here today. We do have several of our carriers that allow us to portal their forms through our website, so you may be able to get them there as well. Submission to commission support. This is such a great feature of doing business with us here at Iams. Amber Williams and our entire new business team are so good at what they do. And I can tell you, we've heard this over and over, that when business runs through our new business team, the advisor gets commissioned so much quicker. We're going to scrub your app. We're going to track your app. We're going to do everything we can to get it issued as quickly as possible and get that policy in your client's hand and that commission in your pocket very quickly. Top sales expertise and coaching. You're going to hear me talk about this a little bit more as we speak about our upcoming Life and Annuity Academy, but we do have several sales coaches throughout the country that are committed to helping the Iams advisor grow their practice. Great thing to take advantage of. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then paperless contracting. We all know the pains of filling out licensing agreements with individual carriers. We're going to get rid of that for you. We are on the Efficient Forms platform, and so are about 90% of the carriers we work with. All we're going to ask you to do is fill out licensing one time. We'll put you onto the Efficient Forms platform. 6 months down the road, you need to add on a new carrier. All you have to do is give us a call or shoot us an email. We'll click a button, get that process started for you. No more hand cramps, none of that stuff. So great tool for you there. Creative Marketing Solutions. Jacob and his team here at Iams Creative do such a good job with turnkey solutions. We've got customizable, ready to go stuff in our library available to you. Handwritten or professionally written, not handwritten, handouts, flyers, newsletters, postcards, tons of marketing material available for you there. You'll see some of it on our website if you'd like to take a look. Agency solutions. Here's what I'm going to say about agency solutions. Even if you're not a full-out agency, if it's just you working independently, if you haven't created a consistent brand for your business, I'd tell you to give Jacob a call, have a conversation with him about it. That brand consistency is going to do so much to help you with organic growth through name recognition, visual recognition, and we can help you with that. Logo design, business cards, stationery, advertising, all available to you to you there. And then digital solutions. We have a lot of expertise here, and the team does a great job with it. If you need a website, or if you just need your old website updated, we can do that for you. Marketing strategies, social media consulting, email marketing, online newsletters, SEO, we can help you with. A lot of great things we can do there. And they're in-house here at Iams. So again, all you have to do is give us a phone call. We can get you in touch with someone in the creative department to start that process or walk you through what it is they're doing for you. The Iams website, I'm going to fly by this because you're going to see part of it today, but just know iamsinc.com is out there for you. A lot of great tools to help you out there. You'll see one of them today. If you haven't gone to www.iamsinc.com and created an account, please do so today. It'll get you access to just a ton of great tools, one of them being the Sales Resource Library. Retirement Analyzer, one of my favorite things that we do offer to our advisors is the Retirement Analyzer. And part of why I like the Retirement Analyzer so much is not only is it a holistic tool to really give your clients and prospects a true analysis of where they stand in their current financial situation as it comes to retirement, but I think it's a great tool to help you close more sales or increase your closing percentage, because simply with a click of a button, you can show a client how much longer their dollars will last into retirement by utilizing a product or an idea that you're presenting to them. We do have a 90-day free trial available on it. Marcus Solar in our office is our point man on this. So if you would like to learn more about that free trial, please give Marcus a call. He can certainly walk you through it. We've got some webinars, some trainings we've recorded on it that you can take a look at. Really, really neat tool here that really will help you close more sales. Iams Wealth Management. As I talk about Iams Wealth Management, I'm going to launch our first poll of the day. And what I'm going to ask you here is if you'd like more information regarding Iams Wealth. If you click yes, what's going to happen is you're going to get an automated email and a phone call from a gentleman named Mike Hansen, our onboarding specialist over at Iams WM. And he's just going to chat with you about everything we do over at Iams Wealth to help the independent insurance advisor become an IAR, pass their Series 65, and implement assets under management into their practice. We've had a lot of success with that when we launched this over a year ago. We launched with 0 advisors. Now we've got advisors throughout the country. We're pretty proud of the number we have as far as assets under management and the advisors we've helped transition into becoming an IAR and add this into add assets under management into their offering portfolio. Now, I'd be amiss if I didn't mention this. If you are an existing IAR, if you already have your 65, I'd tell you to still click yes, have that conversation with Mike, because one thing he's going to talk to you about is the technology that we offer and the pricing that's there. I think you'll be really, really impressed with the entire package that Charles R. Hiring and his entire team have put together, along with some of our strategic business partners. They're very, very competitive platform, very, very competitive package, not only for you, the advisor, but for the client as well. That being said, I am going to move on from this polling question. So if you haven't taken the time to click yes or no, if you would please do so. Certainly do appreciate everyone's participation there. Thank you, everyone. Okay, moving on. And I don't like to do this, but I'm going to do it now because it is a timely topic. I'm going to launch 2 back-to-back polls. What I'm going to ask you here is if you'd like more information about our upcoming Life and Annuity Academy. If you click yes, you'll receive an automated email with more information about the Academy, as well as a follow-up call from someone on our marketing staff. The reason why I say this is so timely is our final Life and Annuity Academy will be coming up here in October. I do not have exact dates yet, but we are very, very close. I should be able to announce them hopefully late this week or early next week on the exact dates, but it will be in October, and we will be in Des Moines, Iowa for this one. What we do in our Life and Annuity Academy is they are all expenses paid. We are normally going to fly you in on a Wednesday, have an evening session Wednesday, followed by a full day session Thursday, have a morning session Friday, and hopefully get you on a plane right about midday and home in time for dinner is our goal there. Now, what we do in the Life and Annuity Academy is we'll bring in our department heads. So you'll meet everyone that kind of makes the show run here at Iams. You know, me, Charles R. Hiring, the head of Iams Wealth, Amber Williams, the head of new business, Jacob, head of creative. Of course, Steve Murray and Charles Hiring, our ownership group, will all be there to show you exactly who it is that we are here at Iams, what we do to help the independent advisor, and how working with Iams functions. You're also going to meet some different carrier reps. One thing that we ask from all of our carrier reps when we come in and do this is don't just come in with a product roadshow. That's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is show us your product, but show us the niche that it fits. Give us some sales ideas there, and they do a great job with that. We've had a lot of great reception to that. What I feel is the most important, the most impactful in our Life and Annuity Academies is you're going to meet at least 4 of our sales coaches that I mentioned earlier in the presentation from throughout the country. And in order to be a sales coach with Iams, not only do you have to talk the talk, but you have to walk the walk. And what I mean by that is these individuals are the upper 1% of commission or fee earners in the industry. So they are top producers. And they're going to show you exactly what it is that they do in their daily practice that makes them so successful and give you the ability to implement that in your own practice. So really, really great stuff there. That being said, I'm going to close down this poll and move on. So if you haven't clicked yes or no, if you would do so, certainly I do appreciate it. If anything I said was of interest to you, I highly encourage you to click yes and get some more information about the upcoming academy. Thank you, everyone. Do appreciate that. Okay, my favorite slide, because we're talking about a little Marketing Summit vacation coming up here in 2019. We will be at the Ritz-Carlton in Naples. It is a beautiful facility. If you like to shop, it's pretty solid. If you like spas, it's really solid. If you like to play golf, it's really good. If you like the beach, it's right there. There's really nothing wrong with this place, and we're excited to be there. Qualification period is going through June 30th of 2019, so plenty of time. If you'd like to know where you stand, if you'd like to chat about what we can do to get you over that 3 million trip credit threshold, please let me know. That being said, that's going to bring me to the end of my introductory slides, so I am going to give control over to Meredith, and we are going to get into the meat and potatoes of today's presentation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Scott. Can you guys see my screen now? Is everything in?
Yes, ma'am. We can see your screen.
Okay, fantastic. So what I'm going to do, this is my business card information and a contact for me. So if you guys have any questions throughout, please put them in the webinar so we can answer them while we're here. If you've got any questions afterwards, you can either email Scott or myself, and we will work together to get that answer for you. Where I want to start is really the Iams homepage and show you guys how to get to the Sales Resource Library. We're under the Support tab. Go straight down to the Sales Resource Library, and it will then take you to that homepage of the library itself. We're going to focus in, if you've been on any of the other webinars that I've done with Scott, we've really done a large overview of the library in and of itself. But today I'm going to focus a little bit more on one particular topic. I like to call it the elephant in the industry, but we're going to focus on that topic and then maybe some of the tools, specifically our life guides within the Sales Resource Library, help you combat that in the industry. So I was looking at a lot of statistics, and I'm about to throw a lot of numbers at you guys over the next few minutes, but there are 92 million millennials in the U.S. today. And that's mind-blowing to me. If we look at Generation X, which is the generation right before them, there's 64.6 million. So 150% pretty much added in the millennial piece. We also know that they are one of the big wealth transfers that's going to happen over the next few years, and they're estimating somewhere around $30 trillion for that. So we talked about our nation's debt and everything else, and really that's the transfer of wealth that could be happening to the millennial generation over the next few years. There has been some that believe that's a myth and some that believe it's true. To me, I think, you've got to look at it as if it is true, because you want to be on the right side of that, whether it's a myth or not. So the other thing that we also know from statistics is that 2/3 of the heirs of inheritance right now are firing their parents' advisors. And so what that tells us in the industry is that those of us that have a portfolio, those of us that are managing that money today, must court the kids to be able to manage that money tomorrow in the years to come. And so how do we do that? How do you use your sales resource library to start positioning yourself as a resource and a professional to the kids and those generations coming ahead? Some of the pieces that we're going to talk about today are great for regardless of who they are in your book of business. It could be a prospect. It could be somebody that is just a referral. Maybe you're at a marketing event and you just want to give some pieces out. All of these life guides that we're going to talk about are going to be great today, but they're also specifically great for building those relationships before you need the relationship and before they need you as their advisor. So let's dig in. First, we'll go to life guides. Our life guides are a great checklist, a couple of pages long typically, of maybe a major change that is happening in your life. And so when you think about courting these new generations coming up, a lot of the misconceptions are, well, what about their age? Do they even have a need for some of the things we're selling? Life insurance is kind of one. A lot of people will say, well, somebody that young maybe doesn't need it. But those of us in the industry know that regardless of how old you are, the life insurance really isn't for you. It's for those you leave behind. So some more statistics coming your way are 50% of these millennials. So 50% of that 92 million have never been approached about life insurance. That's kind of crazy to me. So if we take that and we couple it with, we know that the household debt is rising, and then we know that these millennials and some Generation X are going to have that college debt they're still carrying forward. And so depending on how parents paid for that, how they helped their kids pay for it, maybe they're completely out of it. They don't have to worry about it. I know for me, I was fortunate enough that my family helped me, which means they were co-signers. And if anything were to happen to me, they took on that average college debt. And right now that average is about $33,000. So a lot of debt already they're taking on. And so what I like to look at right now is really just a piece that is great in general for anybody, regardless of where you're at. It's the first one on the list. It's managing your financial life. This particular life guide is really the generic pieces of what this could be. It goes through the foundation of finances altogether. You've got the financial pyramid in there. You've got each little section, maybe how your lifestyle does that affect it, growing your money, managing your money through retirement and through an estate. And then the last piece of it I like has a budget organizer and a document list. And so you'll see right here the financial pyramid, great for anybody who's really just getting out there and starting to learn how to manage their financial house in and of themselves and by themselves. So great for any student going off, maybe great for newly married couples or new families. Families are growing. And when you add a little one to your family, that is a lifestyle change, right? So this kind of helps keep them in line. It's a great way to be a resource. It's a great way to not be necessarily selling something, but while you're still helping them, they don't feel like you're selling that. As they go through these life guides, they're going to realize they've got holes and needs that maybe they didn't realize before. And when you are able to help facilitate that self-evaluation and them come to realize it on their own, it will make that conversation so much easier for you. So you can go through, you can see that it's really a step-by-step, pretty elementary, but it's a great refresher for those who are managing a financial life. Lifestyle, it really goes through maybe you're purchasing a home, what does lines of credit do, what about credit card debt, and even your credit history, right? It makes you think about all of that. Where really you want to jump into the fun things about your lifestyle. You don't want to think about maybe what has happened in the past to do that. I'm going to skip down to the budget organizer so that you can see a little bit of what is going on in there and really how it takes you through each step. But you can see it's really set up for them to fill out on their own. What is their salaries, any bonuses they may have, has them calculate and help their income taxes. We've got some of that we can go over later to help you guys see what table they're in. And really it goes through every little discretionary and non-discretionary expense that you may have in your lifestyle. So great resource for anybody really in your book of business, but also great to really just step in there, help them early on in their financial life, become a resource. I'm going to back out of that, and I'm going to think about a little bit more of really that piece of starting early and teaching them early, becoming that resource long before they ever even realized they needed the resource. And we've got two other pieces that I really like for that. Paying for college is one of them that's really more geared towards the parents or any guardian that is going to help guide them through that college selection, that college paying problem. Whether it's college in the traditional sense or maybe it's a trade school, either way, the process of going through it is the same and is still just as great. So it will take you through really the financial aid basics, the savings options that you have, and then it also has a budget worksheet towards the bottom. So it has a couple of averages in here, talks about really what the average resident student for a public school would be and for a non-for-profit school would be or a private school would be. And you can see those differences. I know that is something we're having a discussion right now. Every day it seems like with our sophomore son of where are you wanting to go, and we really need to talk about in-state, out-of-state, public, private, and really what our options are. So we'll jump down to this budget sheet down here so that you can see a little bit of the work through. Before we get there, I do want to point out it does have some of the student aid grant information in here. It's really just general information, but it's a one-stop shop. They don't have to go out and find that anywhere to help them with that. And talks about particular student loans as well. Trying to jump down to this bottom page. Somewhere down here at the bottom. There we go. So it really takes you through every piece of it. So what is it going to be per semester? And then it takes you per year. So one thing that I know a lot of the students from my area are forgetting about, we've got an endowment that they automatically get when they graduate from our high school. That endowment does not cover room and board. So that was a kind of a realization they came to this week going to college because they didn't go through a worksheet or they didn't go through really what it was going to cost them. But this will take you through every little bit of it. Per school amount, what does that income look like for the students? Are the parents going to be giving any? Is there going to be any part-time work on average? How much you think you might look for grants, student loans? And it really takes you through what that monthly income and what those monthly expenses are going to be so that they can stay within a budget. I know that was kind of my first, if I remember back when I went to college, back when you actually balanced the checkbook instead of just looking online. And I think my parents laughed at how much I was eating out and then quickly told me, you're going to have to learn how to cook. So great way to kind of set the expectations early. This is also great for any counselors in the area. So position yourself as a resource in those educational institutions as well. They will need somebody to refer their parents to if their parents have specific questions. Why not? Why can't that be you? So position yourself, give this to them as a resource. You can help them, walk them through it as well. So Paying for College Life Guide, one of my favorites, especially as you prepare for this time of year that we're all experiencing, students are experiencing this week. Another one is Money Doesn't Grow on Trees. And this is a little bit more geared towards parents with younger kids. But if you start even earlier, it'll kind of go into a little bit of that college piece as well. But it starts about just teaching them the basics. What is a good example? What is the power of interest? Both the good and negative powers of interest. And it has some great ideas on how to really teach them about money at home. How does that allowance work? Really, how are we teaching them the life skills today to be able to save and give and still pay for their lifestyle discretionary and both non-discretionary expenses in the future? And so great ways for this, great resource for parents, teachers. I know I've got a daughter in the 5th grade as well this year. They have in-school jobs that they get paid with Monopoly money, and I think it's great. They have to rent their desk and rent their locker, and they can then eventually buy their desk and have, buy maybe somebody else's desk and have them rent for them. So they're teaching them economics as young as 5th grade in Texas. I think it's great for those of us in this industry. It makes our life a little easier later when we're helping them. But this is a great way to position yourself as a resource today for those younger kids in the family of the portfolio that you've got today. The other statistic that I came across that was a little alarming to me was that of our unemployed workers in the U.S., 40% of those are millennials. And so maybe that is because they never found a job after college. Maybe they've been let go of a job. And so another great resource that I think is great for anybody who is in your book of business, anybody you may have heard about, maybe you've got a company that is doing a layoff and you want to position yourself into that standpoint as well. Great resource right here. It really takes you through kind of the counseling of what to do next when you get that pink slip or your walking papers, so to say. It's got a great budget organizer in there. It talks about really how to position what insurance and savings you have that's maybe company sponsored, what some options can be to get out of that. Your financial situation, it'll really go through some of that too. It does talk about negotiating a severance package, and as you look deeper into that, it gives you ideas of how to negotiate what is best for you. So maybe that's the continuation of health insurance or unused vacation. Maybe if you're getting closer to retirement, you've lost your job, you can help bridge to that retirement. So it really just gives you some great ideas in here. If you go from page 7 on, you're going to see more of that job seeking help that it goes through. And that is great for really anybody who is looking for a job, period. So it goes through really taking a personal inventory of who you know, your resume, your job skills, all of that. So great way to be a resource, maybe even when they're feeling a little bit more constraint on their income, they're feeling like they can't save, you can still continue to be a resource for them, still continue to be a value, positioning yourself to be that person they come to later. So that is our what to do if you lose your job life guide. Another great one, if it will load for me here, is the moving day. So moving day, you've got, if we're thinking about still those millennials, maybe we're thinking about young adults, people with kids and kind of going forward. This really gives you a schedule of what to do before moving and how far out. It gives you a change list. So once you get there after moving day, what things do you need to change? Driver's license, Social Security, maybe. Anything like that is all right in here for you. Then towards the bottom, it also gives you a document list. So it, of course, goes through all of the budget pieces and thinking through the expenses of moving and why you're moving, but it gives so much more when you really think about how to position yourself as that resource and that professional that can help them through all of their life changes. And then one of my last favorites that's really specific to that wealth transfer that we've got so many people in the industry talking about right now is really managing that inheritance. And this goes through a lot of the challenges and the tips that you may need when you all of a sudden have this increase in assets, whether that be cash or actual land or property. So it will take you through, really what is it? What am I doing? Where do I park my money? What are some of the tax consequences that you could have with assets? And I know the more and more that death tax or that inheritance tax talk continue to raise every time tax time comes around, it's always a big deal for those that may have a big inheritance that they could receive. And then it really takes you through what does it mean to take the inheritance? Does it make more sense to disclaim that inheritance and maybe send it on towards those other people within the family, maybe their kids or their siblings that maybe aren't as well-to-do as they are, or maybe disclaiming actually helps them from a tax perspective or an income perspective. So you don't hear that very often, but it is something that could be an option that takes you through. It takes you through the insurance needs that you may need if you've got property you're coming on, trust issues if you are, co-beneficiary or if you're part of a trust, if you have to share any of the homestead or properties or family business. It takes you through all that. So a little bit more in depth to really specifically what to do with that inheritance money, but a great way to really position yourself as, hey, I'm here to help you when you decide what you need to do with it, or to help you decide based on maybe some other priority planning and some other fact finders we do for you. So that's another great one when you're really just talking about that transfer of wealth. The other thing that I would like to say, and some more statistics that I want to throw out to you guys, is how millennials really look at social media. So social media is, we've got 54% would ask for a recommendation on a financial advisor on social media, and 57% would check your social media presence and activity before calling you. So when you think about that, social media can be its own beast. It can be a little scary too, because we've got so many regulations on our industry about what we can and can't discuss. But these life guides, you can take a piece of this. You can maybe take your own story and show them that you've got it. Let them know that you have it if you're needing help to come talk to you. And you're really positioning yourself as a resource again. I know I've used that word a lot, but if you are helping somebody, they don't realize that you're really offering them a solution to a problem that they're uncovering as they go through this life guide. There's a lot of other really great life guides in here as well. If you're thinking about managing an inheritance and using that, you may also want to look at when a loved one dies. And then two other really great that affect people of all generations, but you also see it within young married people, are marriage and money. It takes you through the budget of not only planning a wedding and an engagement, but what does it mean to combine our money and our debt, especially for those communal states where, if you lose a loved one, you are now responsible for their debt too. So how do you get that financial house in order as well when you're combining that? And then unfortunately, with the divorce rates rising, you've also got the dealing with divorce, life guide. That affects so many. All of these, most of them anyway, I don't want to say all, but most of them all have a budget to use as well. So that is kind of a deep dive into the life guides. I'm not sure if we've got any questions so far yet. One thing I do want to come back and point to, I'll go back to the menu, and as a kind of supplement to our life guide, I want to point out the priority planning concepts that will really dive deep with anybody you've got in your office to really prioritize that based on what they're needing. And then also financial workbooks. If you're looking for any of these budget organizers, balance sheets, or any checklist inventories for your people, the budget organizers and worksheets, financial worksheets and workbooks are great resources as well as a supplement to those life guides. So is there any questions so far? Anything anybody would like me to dive deeper into? We've got a little bit of time, not a whole lot left.
We've got a pretty quiet group at this point, Meredith. I have not seen any questions come in as of yet. So if there are any questions,
okay,
Meredith's more than open to answer them for you guys. Yeah.
I know we have really dipped deep into a lot of it. One thing that I will say, as I was coming through and I was looking at all of these stats on kind of the millennials and the Gen Xers, which in our industry we typically tend to think are the younger group, what was alarming to me was, one, how much had not been asked about life insurance. So we think about 50% of millennials, 23% of Generation X will say nobody's ever approached them. And then if you look at the death rates for those age range, you've had a large increase in death rate from 2014 to 16 for those really 15 to 34-year-olds. Some as low as 12% and some as high as 19% if you really divide those ages up. But it's not a fun topic to talk about life insurance to somebody that young or to a parent, but you really may want to think about that. So great opportunity out there.
Absolutely. Meredith is completely right on that. And as I'm sure most of you guys know, we've got a full suite of life products that once the need has been identified, through using the sales resource library, we can certainly assist you in positioning the proper product. That being said, Meredith, it looks like we do still have a quiet group here. So I think we're only going to take up about 45 minutes of your time today, but we do greatly appreciate you taking the time to join us. So thank you so much. Any parting words you'd like to offer to the group before we sign off?
No, just I really appreciate you guys having me. We're here to help. So any questions that you guys have, if you want to dive deeper into any of it, please reach out to myself or Scott, and we are here to help you guys. We want to help make it easier for you when looking at any piece of that sales funnel for you guys on the sales resource library.
Hey, thank you so much, Meredith. Again, to everyone here, this is a free tool that we offer to our advisors at iamsinc.com. So please take advantage of it. We certainly want to see you using it. And before we do go, I know, and Meredith knows, that 45 minutes with us today is 45 minutes that you're not out actively selling and prospecting. So we do greatly appreciate your time. Thank you so much, everyone. Go out, have a great sales day, and I look forward to speaking with everyone very, very soon. Thank you.